So, I couldn't tell by this. After I came out of the closet, not metaphorically like the gay kind, but after I walked out of the closet, um, when I was in there for like 20 minutes, watched them, listened to them have sex. I didn't really have a plan or anything. I just kind of thought, well, if I walk out, the noises might stop. Or the noises might stop, and I could be at peace maybe. So I walked out with my bananas, and I just kind of started throwing the peels at him, which Jared, Jared didn't like it. Not at all. He's actually allergic to bananas, which is one of the reasons I brought them, because I thought maybe I'll poison him, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna eat them. Because I got stuck in the closet. I started throwing at them, and after I started throwing them, I remembered, oh wait, he's allergic. So I started throwing the bananas. I got on his skin, started getting itchy, and then got really pissed off. And then he gave me this shiner right here. It's a little fucked up right now. It was a while ago though. I'm kind of at peace. I mean, seeing her there, also seeing with him, seeing it all go down, it kind of made. It kind of put everything in perspective, you know. Sorry, I've never smoked before today. I just picked it up. And I realized, like, I don't need her actually. You know, there are other people out there who I could get with, maybe. So, you know, I got punched, I took a beating like a man, and I left, and it's a new day. I mean, it's been a week since then, been about a week. And, I mean, I haven't found anything yet, because it's been so serious and focused at work, you know. But it's coming. It's coming. It is Valentine's Day right now, and I am alone. But I mean, I'm alone most of the time anyway. So, you know. People smoke these. I don't get it. I don't know. I thought I'd pick up something. And after the ice cream cake, I just can't really eat sweets anymore. My stomach just hurts like before I even start eating that stuff. So, cigarettes are my vice now. They must be. Back in high school, I was really big on Christian Weston Chandler, the motherfucker. Literally the motherfucker who literally had sex with his mom. But that's kind of a small part of the history. And I was recently, you know, watching his videos again. Not his videos, but I was watching videos on him again. Because it's also interesting. Because he's actually from where I'm from. Philadelphia, Virginia. Little Christian fact right there for those who don't know. Christian's from Philadelphia, Virginia. I lived there for a while. Manchester High School. It was high school where near I grew up. So I mean, I've probably seen him out in public by accident at some point. But you know, he wanted love. He wanted love to find him. You know, and he did in an unconventional way. But it's kind of like I kind of admire it because he got straight to the point. You know, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. He had the whole love quest, which he would do. He'd go to Fashion Square Park Mall, which is now actually being torn down. I was able to go before it like shut down. Very depressing place. But you know, he used to go around with the sign on his shirt saying, "Looking for a boyfriend for your girl," and its requirements. He did say no black people, which you know I'm obviously very much open to that. I'm not racist, so you know. And no married people or people who'd have boyfriends, which, I mean, after this whole experience, I'm definitely on the same page as Chris. So I figured, you know, I think now might be the time to start that because, I mean, did it work for him? No. But he's also severely autistic, so I feel like I have an upper leg already, you know? Like I'm already a step ahead. of Chris at this point. Like, he gave me the idea. He had the idea down to like a T, but he just couldn't execute it because of his skill set. And now that's where I come in. My skill set is actually very top notch. Because after working so long on internet security, I know how people think. I know how people really think. Because how people really think, how they really act, they show it through the internet, and what they look at on the internet. You know, because you don't get to know people by talking anymore. You get to know them by looking at their internet history, their search history. And it's like with Claire, when she was asleep at night, I go on her phone, like unlock the Face ID, and I look at like her search history, and it was all like tips on how to like dump your boyfriend, like gently. I mean, at the time, I thought she was like, she had this friend who was kind of going through the same thing, so I thought she was like sending videos to her and trying to get her through the moment, but obviously, that wasn't the case. So I mean, that's how you really understand the psyche of a person. So I feel like, I mean, I got that part down. So if I just find someone's search history and then make myself into the person they desire, then boom, easy. Next Valentine's Day, I'll be, at a nice restaurant. Instead of here smoking, which is awful and disgusting. Oh my god. It's calmed me down a bit, I guess, but. Or, he's go through the traditional sign necklace thing, which Christian did. But also I think my skills will translate just because I'm a people person. I'm a people pleaser. I know how to interact with people. So, I can just go up and talk to them with a sign like, hey, you look a little lonely. You want to go on a date with me at the Cinnabon? Because I'll be at a mall, probably. I think there's still Cinnabons at malls. Possibly. I'm not really sure. I don't go to malls anymore. So, I may be wrong about that. But who knows? But it's a whole plan, you gotta take baby steps, and I think after tonight, I will be taking those baby steps. Because I did actually see them. I was walking downtown, because I was bored, and I was walking by this nice fresh French restaurant. I actually went with her last year for Valentine's Day. It's called like Bisou or something French like that. I don't really know. And I saw her there sitting outside with Jared, and I knew if like we saw each other, Jared would probably come in and try to attack me today, like the mongrel he is. So I just kind of like avoided. I went around some lampposts, kind of did some little bit of parkour and avoided her. I mean, it was nice seeing her again, because she is obviously a very beautiful woman, but it hurt at the same time, because she's a very beautiful woman, and she's with this asshole Jared, who gave me this right here, as I previously said. But it's all relative. I mean, Christian, their first real girlfriend, or Christine, I should say at this point, is like now. And they're like 40 something now. Because before it was all trolls. So it didn't really count. Like, technically, yes, they were dating, but it didn't really count. It took them until they're 40 something years old to get a partner. And I've already had a few. So if Christian can do it, that's like the meter you should set, how you should gauge it. Like, if Christian can do it, you can do 10 times better. So I'm just waiting now at that point. Because like I said before, the app stuff I don't really fuck with. So now it's just finding that boyfriend-free girl, which I'm sure will be easy enough. I hope. The funny thing is, when I was leaving their place, shamefully, of course, because they thought I was masturbating too in the closet, which, as you could see from the video, I was not masturbating. I was just listening and being in the feels. But when I came out, I did kind of have a bit of a boner. It was like an excitement boner, not like a horny boner, but like an, dopamine, like, oh, what's going to happen next boner, not the gross kind of boner. I wasn't like perving out to them. I came out, I threw bananas, and I saw I had a big boner. And, obviously they're perturbed by that, and that was one of the leading factors in the punch. And Claire, she saw it. She's like, oh, why could you never get like that for me? Because we had problems in the bedroom. I don't know if I talked about that. And, I mean, honestly, that was the first one I had in like a month or so, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. I mean, the dopamine thing like I was talking about. Because I mean, I most of my time just sitting at my desk at work, looking at like internet searches, which is fun. You know, like I enjoy it to a certain degree, but hiding in closets can be better. It wasn't better. I mean, I was very distraught the whole time, but it can be better theoretically, if you know what I mean. Now I'm just smoking. But that's the way it is. That's the way it goes, I guess. I don't really know. That's disgusting. I don't get it. I gotta finish this back off anyway. And it's Valentine's Day, as I said. I went to Panera this evening for Valentine's Day. There are a lot of people there, actually, all mostly old people. But if that's their Valentine's place to go, who am I to judge? I mean, I'm there. You know, a lot of people clown on Christian because of the dimensional merge idea brought forth by the idea guys, but what if it is actually real? What if there are actual other dimensions out there which exist? They're just waiting for the rift to happen, the merge, so all the right places you should be are there and not the wrong ones. Because, I mean, ever since I was like 5 years old, I knew something was off. Not that I knew there was no dimension out there, but I knew that there was something wrong out there. They just didn't feel right, and I think, maybe Christian's honest. Like, we all clown Christian for being a wacko, you know, but what if they're actually onto something? I mean, Jesus, when Jesus was around, I'm not comparing Christian to Jesus, of course, but when Jesus was around, everyone thought he was a wacko, and, you know, you can't go a day without hearing him now. His ideas were true, right? I don't know, I feel like there has to be something more out there, especially after all this shit. I mean, you can go to work and get a job and you can get good money, but it's not really. It doesn't fix those problems. There's problems that shouldn't even be there, really. Because, I mean, think about it. Like, cartoon characters, TV characters, they are real. In a sense, they're real because we imagine them to be real. When we watch the show they're in, we think they're real because we have to acknowledge they're real to be consumed, to be entertained by the show. We can't think, oh, these are just actors on stage acting. We think, oh, these are real people in real life situations, or not even real situations, but these are real people with feelings. Why do you think we get sad when one of our favorite TV show characters die? Because we start thinking they're real people. And so why can't they be real? Why are we so attached to them if they aren't real? I think that's what Christian is thinking about when we talk about dimensional merge, that actually they are real, and it all makes sense. They're just in a different zone. They're just fear. Because when something's created, it becomes real. So when a TV show is created, a TV show becomes its own life form, and it has its own thoughts. It's like a breathing infrastructure, just in a separate sphere. We're in like a sphere here. They're in a sphere over here. We just need to wait for like the Venn diagram, you know, to come across and to merge. And that makes a lot of sense, does it not? And we're all in these separate spheres because we're watching the show at the time, you know, but we're not there. We float back to Earth, whatever this Earth this is, like Earth 12 or whatever, like they say in like Marvel comics. It's all starting to make sense, isn't it? You're knowing now. You're thinking now, like, oh wait, this does make sense. Because obviously it does, because... No, obviously, I don't want to get wrapped up in it. But it's just an idea I've been thinking about right now. Like, in another universe, Jared maybe wasn't even born. He's not even alive. Maybe he died when he was like a boy in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm not even with Claire in that universe. I'm with like a hot Brazilian supermodel. Which, at this point, I'm not in it for the, you know, physical temptations anymore. It's all about the human connection. That's all I care about. The human connection. So I could be with a nice Finnish desk clerk, but the connection there is so strong. It's like, who cares? Screw the world. Screw society for doubting us. You know, I love the Finnish. I don't know what the Finnish are like. I don't know if they're cool with Americans. I mean, maybe I'm Finnish in the other dimension. I mean, you listen to the way Christian talks about it, and they believe so hardly that it's real. Why can't it be real? Why can't these other dimensions exist at the same time? That's something to think about. Why can't it be real? Why can't it not be? I mean, with the internet too, AI and shit that these days, I mean, you ask an AI bot if they're real, they'll tell you, yes, I am real. I think, therefore I am. Descartes. Therefore, if I think it, why can't it am? Or why can't it be? To be or not to be? I mean, shit, I'm starting to convince myself, actually. Maybe I'm onto something. I don't know. Oh, fuck. Oh. It's all about perspective, I think. Maybe another universe of Valentine's Day does not even exist, and we have to have these stupid expectations about it. You know? And I can't even eat anymore. You know, I was listening to Frank Ocean recently. I mean, that shit just, you know. Maybe another universe, Frank Ocean actually decided to release a fucking album in time. Who knows? It's like we're at, you know, see a cigarette right here. Our desires, our ideas are always burning like this cigarette right here. But soon enough, it'll burn out to the edge till there's nothing left to burn. And at that point, that's when these other dimensions come in and they light that match for us. And that's how we can connect. And that's how it'll merge. And that's how it'll happen. Because it can't go, nothing can go on forever. But there is something after forever, isn't there? But we're not going on forever, but there is something after the end. And that's when the merge comes in. So maybe when we die, we go to the merge and we can see everything we always wanted to see and everything we wanted to be. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going to kill myself so I can go be with Sonichu or something. But it's just maybe that's when the merge happens. And we're all laughing at Christian, but they're just waiting for Judgment Day. And we're all fucked because we don't believe enough. And if you don't believe, you don't get the fruit of the beliefs, of the dreams. Just an idea, of course. But it's an interesting one, isn't it? It gets you thinking. 2007. Either way, I think that's going to be... Forget the whole Love Quest thing. Nope, that's on the side now. The merge. Trying to figure out the merge. That's where it all comes to play. Because if you can figure that out, then everything else is fixed, and everything else is right, and everything else is clean. And you don't have to worry about any of these trivial things anymore, like love, or eating, or pooping, or peeing. Because once that happens, once the merge happens, you don't have a butthole anymore, because cartoon characters don't have buttholes, and they don't poop or pee, so you don't need to anymore. And honestly, they don't have to eat either, they can just be. And what's better than being than just to be? Like the cigarette eventually goes out to a stub. Well, I'm all out of cigarettes, so I don't know. Maybe we'll go Burger King and get an Impossible Whopper. But next time you see me, I think I'm going to figure out... I'm going to have some sort of better, clearer idea about the merge. And before you know it... We'll be free. That wasn't cool. Let me do a cool outro. And before you know it, all that burns. Before you know it, all that burns. Before you know it, all that burns. Before you know it, all that burns will be bright. And all that dies out will be fine. And before you know, the dimensional merge will be aight. I don't know, I got work tomorrow morning. I gotta go fucking sleep.